Hey guys, it's Brian, and today I want to give you guys my review for The Walking Dead World Beyond Season 1, Episode 1, Brave. So this was actually a pretty good premiere. I would say an 8.5 out of 10, and I would say it's about as good as Fear the Walking Dead Season 1. So, yeah, anyways, the episode starts out with a bunch of walkers in a fog area, and it looks like they're being drawn on too. You know what I mean? Like they have like drawn details, and this reminds me of Life is Strange. I don't know if you guys ever seen that game series, but it's a lot like it. Like I'm getting serious vibes from that, but it's not actually real. It was just a nightmare that Iris, one of the sisters, was having. So yeah, she wakes up, and after she wakes up, we see her doing her daily thing. She's talking to people. She is the student president, and after that, we see her walking to Silas, one of the other characters, and she tells him about this party. And not sure about Silas. Apparently, there was some past or something that he did. And Iris goes to talk with Felix and Huck. And Huck, I don't really get. I'm not really interested in, but Felix is a good character. So we have Iris going with some other people on the bus to meet with the CRM. So apparently, there's an alliance. And we have the other sister, Hope. She sneaks on in the luggage compartment with flowers, and she sneaks inside because she's not actually supposed to go to this meeting, but she wants to. We find out she wants to visit her mother's grave. So, they leave the bus from the campus colony, and that's the community they're in. There's like about 9,671 people, and while on the road, Hope gets attacked by a ninja walker, and, in the compartment area because it wasn't locked, but, she doesn't get bitten or anything. It slides off of the bus, but yeah. So anyways, after she sneaks off the bus, she visits the cemetery for the community, which is outside, and we see her her mother's grave, Carrie Bennett. And yeah, I'm not sure what NSF means, but we have the CRM helicopters, and they're carrying cargo, like shipping containers. So very interesting to see what happens. We have Felix, and a CRM helicopter lands down, and yeah, so we get introduced to the CRM. We come across Lieutenant Colonel Elizabeth, one of the characters, and we have CRM soldiers. So yeah, I mean, the CRM, like, honestly, they're such a mystery, but it's pretty obvious what they are, you know what I mean? And we have, Felix and Huck introducing themselves to these characters, and Huck, I just don't get. I don't know if the actress, but she just doesn't seem that interesting. And we have Hope flicking off, Elizabeth from the side of the bus, and but she doesn't, get told or anything. And we have the CRM soldiers killing some walkers, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We have the kids and the faculty and staff. They give a sign out to the CRM, so there's an alliance, I suppose. And after that, they come back. Hope talks to Silas and asks him if he, cannot tell anyone that she was on the bus, and we get the intro for the World Beyond series, and not that great of an intro. It's really short, and yeah, we have Hope and Iris coming back home. So yeah, and their dad is gone. Their mom's dead. So anyways, they're talking about how Hope did that sign, and she has to stop this kind of thing that, like, they're talking about their dad and how he left to go to the CRM to help them. And Hope is she doesn't really want to sign a birthday card for Felix just because she thinks he hates her. We get another nightmare moment with Iris. She is still seeing walkers in a foggy area, and she wakes up. So it's pretty obvious that this is a natural thing for Iris. She's constantly having nightmares, and we get this scene where she, is trying to find out where the CRM lives, but she's also trying to make a speech. So Iris is kind of a drawer, and we have Monument Day, so it is like the 10th anniversary of the apocalypse. So yeah, and we also get to know a little bit more about Iris, how she talks about the past, how when the apocalypse happened, and we see, that she keeps, all the letters or messages her father has sent her in the past couple months. In school, we get introduced to the other character, Elton. So yeah, he's a smart kid who is a little shy, and Iris gets a message from one of the kids that Hope is in serious trouble because apparently Hope has been brewing and alcohol, and she's not old enough to drink, so she has got in trouble with that. So yeah, kind of a weird scene. And anyways, Iris and Felix are talking, and they let Hope out, And after that, we have the two sisters talking to Elizabeth, and Iris is playing the nice girl, whereas Hope is playing the attitude girl. And I feel like their names should be reversed. I mean, Hope is not very hopeful, so that's a little weird. But yeah, Hope does not trust the CRM because they took their dad, and she doesn't trust her. You know what I mean? And we get another message from their father, Leo Bennett, and he says, "My safety not assured," or it says assured, I guess. But after that, we have Iris going to Dr. K, and she is an ill woman who, this was cool with the bars on the doors. So anyway, she talks to her about, her trauma and things like that. And, they talk about how Iris is just putting off her trauma by doing multiple things, in the community, but she's not really dealing with herself, I suppose. And we get to see flashbacks throughout the episode, how the two sisters with their parents, how when the apocalypse happened, it was just chaos. And, it's just a trauma that they never really got over it. They never really talked about it or healed, I suppose, from that trauma. And yeah, it would have been nice to see the fall of society, but we never got that. We get, there was apparently a pregnant woman also there in the night of the apocalypse, but like the plane crashed down. So yeah, just a lot of things. So yeah, anyways, Iris is talking about how, she was so scared. She was just a little kid. I'm not sure how old they are. I think they're close to 18 at this point. But, Dr. K is making a very good point. She's saying that, you're not doing your hobbies. You're not even dating. And, oh my gosh, when Iris is like, I don't have time for that. It's like, that's every, like, I think that's like a lot of girls. Like, they don't make time, to be happy or to do things like dating because they just think it's like below them, or, just, it's one of those things. We have, Hope training with Huck, and, we have that kid Elton who is training a karate class. And we have, Hope just saying like how she thinks the world's going to end, that, it's just, there's no point. There's a city, it's so much bigger. And Huck even asked her if she thinks the world's going to end. And I was hoping Hope would say it already did. But, you have Hope saying this, people are crap, or the S word. And, she is totally right. So anyway, we have the flashback with Iris and Hope's mother. And, like we get more flashbacks. And it's just crazy. So a plane crashed down where they were, and we just see dead bodies. Walkers. It's just absolutely crazy. They got separated from Iris and Leo, and we see some gnarly looking walkers. Just one was like a bloody mess, literally with no skin. That was terrifying. And we see this one, attached to cables, and the breathing mask, in a plane. It's just, that is well done. So yeah, we have Hope just thinking back to that day. We have Iris looking at the fax machine where she gets another message from her father. And yeah, it's just pretty crazy. We have Silas and Elton, coming and seeing them, about the message they find out. And anyways, so they talk to them about it, and, they're kind of concerned about what's going on with their father. And, Elton is, he's a pretty smart kid, a little bit shy. And he says something like, this is thick clothes from the 90s, so he should be good. But I don't know, that was kind of weird. So we have Felix and Huck who are painting some walkers, tagging them, I suppose. But I don't know. And we find out that Felix is apparently gay, which I actually did not know. So anyway, they tell Felix about, their dad's message. And they say they don't know what the CRM is going to do because they could get in trouble for this. But they feel like they have to do something. But I can understand what Felix is saying too, that, at the moment, how can they do anything? Because the CRM is not going to give up the information. And, Hope is just, she's not having it. She's angry, and kind of rightly so. They don't get to talk to their father for months. And the CRM, she makes a good point. They're bad people. Like, they're, secretive, and they don't know anything about them. They kind of force an alliance on them. That's how you know not to trust a group. And, and Iris actually stands up to Elizabeth and even says, like, no one gets to leave or come in your community. It's just not right. Something is up. And, we have Elizabeth telling them that their father is in New York somewhere in a research facility, but I don't see why he can't just do research here. So they should really be asking more questions. So they kind of get this, like, very vague map, I suppose. But anyways, after that, they I guess, feel a little bit better. The girls decide to, just take their mind off, their father, I suppose, and to go get something to drink. And yeah, also Felix was apparently listening, and he was smiling. So anyways, the girls wake up, and Iris's speech is like in an hour, so she has to get ready and go. And they get another message from their father, and it is not good. I mean, just what is the CRM doing? I mean, this guy's important, and I don't know. So anyway, Iris goes to Dr. K again before her speech, and, and yeah, she gets attacked by, I knew this was going to happen, a walker version of Dr. K. She has died and become a walker. And I gotta say, like, when I knew that this was going to happen with the bars, and, she was ill, they kind of established that, and, Iris just kind of freezes, I suppose. This is probably the first walker that she has seen since, since the night of the apocalypse, so she's kind of just in shock. And, yeah. So, anyways, we have some people who are taking her body away, and, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. So, anyways, we have the speech that's going on with the Alliance, with the CRM, and the campus colony. We have there's thousands of people, I think, and so we have Iris giving the speech, and at first she wants to give a hopeful speech, but then she talks about her nightmares, and she also mentions how she doesn't trust Elizabeth from the CRM, that she doesn't know her, and they took her dad, and it's just something that we have to find out the truth, and it's scary. It might be scary. So anyways, Iris is trying to give hope, I suppose, and she's mentioning that they need the ones to go after their father, So yeah, they're talking about, what happened that night, and how, they need to start living for themselves. We get a flashback of Hope and her mother, and, it's just crazy. So they find, a truck, and they're going to try to take it. They got separated from Leo and Iris, and we get the pregnant woman from earlier. She pulls a gun on them, and she says that she's taking the truck, but it just goes bad. I mean, so quickly, because, yeah, it's pretty obvious that both of these women are desperate, and there's chaos going around, and Hope tries to run up to her and beg her, but this backfires big time, because the woman, accidentally fires and shoots, Carrie, Hope's mother, and she dies. She just dies, and this was such a sad scene. I mean, just like little Hope just crying like that was just so sad. And then it was just crazy, and I kind of knew what was going to happen right after that, because after that we get Hope picking up the gun, and might I say pretty fast, honestly. So she picks up the gun and she aims it, and she shoots the woman, who is pregnant, by the way, in the chest, and yeah, kills her. This was dark. Surprising. That was a pregnant woman. Just wow. We have Hope then taking the marble necklace that her mother wore, so I guess she can always keep her close to her. But yeah, I'll admit, this was pretty dark. The fact that Hope had a dark backstory, it's crazy. So anyway, the sisters and the two boys are talking in Elton's room about finding their father, and kind of just getting out of this place, seeing what's out there in the world, seeing what was before, and I guess in a way facing their past, I suppose. And yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. So we have the characters going outside, and is it cringy? Yeah, I'll admit, especially what Eldon's wearing, and just some of the things, I don't know, it just feels off. This kid is so 90s, it's crazy. But yeah, the characters are going outside, they're going to explore the world, and try to find the Leo. And we have Felix and Huck, who they're looking for the kids, and they realize that they're gone, and that they know where they're going, I suppose. And so we have the kids, they're still talking. Okay, so they're gonna keep looking around. It's nighttime, and we have Elton, who he finds something that Silas trips in, and he looks, and it's a fossil, and he wanted it to be a gift for his sister, and he said that we find out that his mother was pregnant with his sister. So the woman that Hope killed was his mother. So yeah, I saw that coming. So Felix and Huck, they leave the campus colony to look for the kids, and yeah. Anyways, after that, the characters, they're talking, they're checking their weapons, and they're gonna go exploring some more. And yeah, they're pretty hopeful. The characters, just want to explore. And after that, they come across a walker, and they try to discuss it, but even though Hope wants to do it, Iris decides she brought them here, so she is going to do it. And also the characters call them empties for some reason. I guess it can't always be walkers, so Iris goes to attack and kill the walker, but unfortunately it is off screen, we don't see it. And then we get the big plot twist this episode. So even though these look like, just walkers, apparently the CRM has killed everyone in the campus colony. And this is just crazy. I mean, just the fact that, seriously, the fact that, 9,666 people died because the kids left. I mean, just they wiped out, exterminated this whole colony, this large community, just for what? And I mean, just I don't even know what to say about this. I mean, this might be one of the darkest things that has ever happened in The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? We're talking about a total extinction here. And they say, the guy says they can't find her, so I think they're talking about Iris, and I don't know. So Elizabeth says good, so I'm not sure what their plan is. I'm not sure what the CRM, is trying to do, but yeah, I'm actually pretty excited to see what happens. So we get the end of the episode, and yeah, I'll admit, that was crazy. So anyway, we have the characters, going around, they're exploring. It looks like, there's sand or wind or, dust or something that's happening. We have the characters talking about, a blaze of glory, or I guess glory. And, yeah, the characters are in Nebraska, and they're trying to get to New York. We have Felix, who says that Hope stole this from his apartment, so it's a CRM cam, so they're tracking the kids. We have Hope saying that they almost died 2 times now because of the empties or the walkers, and, it's getting dangerous now. We have, Huck trying to tell Felix that it's been, 48 hours, and Felix says he's good. We have, the characters who, I think Silas says something like he can't see or something. And, yeah, because there's, a lot of ash and stuff right here around this bus. So the characters are going to be in serious trouble. So, alright, guys, that's it for the episode 1 review of The Walking Dead World Beyond, the season 1 premiere. And, yeah, what can I say? I mean, honestly, this was a pretty good premiere. It gave us a little bit more knowledge about the CRM. And even though the characters were cringy, it was still pretty good. So, alright, guys, that's it for my review. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.